prediction time, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Oh gosh.
Prediction time.
How did we do? Have we got an updated team?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You had a good week because you predicted that Leeds would win by 14 points, and they did. I was gutted because Hull Kingston Rovers scored a late try because I had Huddersfield by 22. So cheers, Giants. Simon, thank you very much.
So what's it? Phil's top, is it?
Yeah,
Phil's top.
apart from the fact that, Phil got all 5 results right last week. We got 4 out of 5, but you got 1 spot on, so we both went for Wakefield, didn't we?
Yeah.
We
What were we making that mistake?
We didn't figure out for the magic of Ollie Holmes and his headband. So, what can you do?
Nah.
Danny Richards kicking there.
So Phil's got 39 points.
Yeah. You've got 35 and I've got 32.
Right.
I don't know who other is. There's other on the thing, but I don't know.
Presumably that's when we have a 4th person.
Yeah. Right, okay. Hull KR Castleford. Phil Captain.
Just think Hull KR are busted at the moment. This game's come too early for them. I think they would have done anything to have a couple of extra days. Mulhern now we know isn't playing. Cass confident, coming off a comprehensive second half against Wakefield, and no matter how we think Wakefield played, Cass did a decent job in that second half. John Wells told me so, they must have done. I can only see a Cass win, and I'll go Cass by 12.
We never got to talk about Phil Clark's role net, did we?
Roll up. Captain Birdseye.
Great line from Brian Carney. He knows what he's doing. don't think you don't know what he's doing. Last week, Cass won the Adam Martini Trophy. Great to see Frank Martini on the pitch as well after the game. This week they'll win the Roger Millwood Trophy because they're going to beat Hull Kingston Rovers, and I think it'll be comfortable. And I'm going to go by the same score I went last week for Hull KR to lose by. I'm going to go by 22 again.
Got a few back, haven't they, Cass, I think, this week?
Yes.
Potentially. Which will help. I think Hull KR will come and throw it around. But I think Cass looked quite good when they went through hands. I got to go Cass. I go Cass by 14. I think Rovers will score a few points. Leeds Warrington, the Friday night game. Oh, one game on a Friday night. It's great. It's on the telly and everything.
Really?
Brilliant.
Big old
right.
Leeds,
Yeah. Come on, Leeds Warrington.
Warrington are on at the moment. Again, they can be either absolutely brilliant, beating St Helens 19-0, or they can go off the boil for 2 weeks and have their attitude.
They lost to Wakefield, Phil.
Which was an attitude issue, apparently. But they weren't crash hot against Toronto. A game that I listened to. I don't think Maludi did get the ball down at the end, which would have given Toronto. It looked like he might have dropped it, but when you were listening to the radio, it seemed as though Toronto might have nicked it at the end. That would be a worry, I think, for Steve Price, that he hasn't quite got that level of consistency out with these guys. We said this time last week, again, squads haven't been announced, but Reece Martin has declared himself fit. Stevie Ward started his concussion protocol. He could be fit. There's a little bit of a confidence about Leeds at the moment. Not overconfidence, because they're coming from a very low point. Having lost against the last team that is expected to be up towards the top in Hull, I think this is quite a big game for Leeds to prove to their own fans that they can do it.
Big Warrington in the last season as well, didn't they?
Probably their best performance of the season.
Yeah.
There was a lot of emotion that night because it was Jamie Jones Buchanan's final game, and I'm gonna go, because I wouldn't I? Leeds by 2. But I think it'd be a great game.
I'm tempted to go to this on Friday.
You'd be more than welcome.
Get accredited. I'm allowed back. I'm allowed in Henley. It's all right, I think. I need to see some.
Don't forget your t-shirt.
Yeah. Style them outside with the rainbow flags. I'm going to go for Leeds as well. It's so early in the season. I've worked out which teams are probably not good and which teams are good. That's St Helens. And then there's all these other teams which you're never quite sure what they're going to do. So I'm going to side just about with Leeds because that Louis and Gale partnership, from what I'm told. So I don't think I've Leeds been on the telly and I've seen them. I don't know.
Against Hull in round 1.
Oh yeah, they were rubbish that day. But now they're good. Yeah, their partnership's more settled. It's going to be tight though, Leeds by 4.
You know what? I am quite tempted by Leeds, and I did go for them last week. I did say they'd win last week, didn't I? I think this is a bigger game for Warrington. You know, that it's fully. I'm with you. They're a bit hot and cold, aren't they? They need a win, Warrington.
Matty Ashton out with his pulled hamstring.
Yeah. I'm going to go Warrington by 2. But
It
I
could
am
be that
honestly,
sort
I
of
think
game.
it could be either
Yeah.
way. I wouldn't be surprised if Leeds won. So I'll go Warrington, just to be different. No anti-Leeds bias there. Toronto against St Helens. Now this is an interesting game because 2 weeks ago Toronto were in absolute crisis, but they went to Wigan and give Wigan a game for an hour. They had a nightmare start at Warrington and then give Warrington a game until the last 5 minutes. Saints coming off the back of a brilliant performance last week, but
Which
at what cost?
Will have taken something out of him because
Yeah.
it does every year for every team that plays in the World Cup. You have to be at such a high,
Yeah, that
to
was
play
a
at-
grand final style performance from them.
and you have to come down from that and play again against a team that you're expected to beat. That's a big psychological ask. The only problem with making predictions this early in the week is we genuinely don't know who's going to be available for Toronto.
No, we'll be doing it for a couple of years, so don't worry
There
about
could be
that.
20 players or there could be 17.
Yeah.
We don't know. I think it's a very good chance for Toronto to make a bit of a statement this week. But I just have a feeling that Saints will do enough to scrape by. But I think they will be pushed probably till very late on. I'm going to go Saints by 4.
I've seen this film before and I know what happens. It's like when Crusaders signed Gareth Thomas and he didn't score any tries, and they played Wakefield and he scored a try. So I know exactly when Toronto's first week's coming.
It's coming against Leeds the following week when Brian McDermott returns to Headingley.
Oh, there's that. Oh, no, I can't say that. Hopefully he turns up for the presser this week. Don't want to get a big fine. St Helens by 12. Can't do anything to it.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? This I can't make my mind up whether Saints and Christian Wolf will be telling them how great they are after last week. In a good way, I don't mean no way brilliant, blah blah blah. But I think they've almost set a standard there that if they play like that, and you can't play like that every week, but if they play like that, Toronto ain't going to beat them. Let's be fair, they're not. But I think there's a little bit of belief growing in Toronto. I'm just wondering. Will he leave some out, Wolf? We don't know that about him. We don't know what his thought
You
process
think
is on that.
that Holbrook
Who have they
will
got
lose?
the week after?
Toronto like London, is that what we're saying?
Who have they got the
I'll
week
tell you,
after?
bear with me. Once I've,
If they've got a big game the week after,
they are at home to Huddersfield.
Top of the table clash.
yeah, I'm not so sure that constitutes a big game. Oh, no,
No, but if it was a Wigan or a
if it's a
Warrington.
Wigan or a
Yeah.
Warrington, a big local derby where
Yeah.
he probably feels he's got to go big.
Is John Wilkin playing or is he still injured this week?
Well, hopefully he's uninjured again. At the start of the season, I think he's their pivotal man. Will.
And he was great. Last week,
Yeah. And
considering-
now they've got O'Brien and they've got a bit more of a threat.
Sunnyville's a week better.
Sod it. They're going to win.
Oh,
Tony
Toronto by
Gigo a
4.
week better.
Toronto by 4.
yeah, who else are we going to get in on trial this week?
Yeah.
Jonathan
This is a
Thurston,
good
he's in
one.
the country.
Huddersfield
This is the game of
against
the round.
Wigan.
This is the game of the round because this will tell us a lot about both teams.
It will.
It's a major test for the Giants. I think everything they've done so far has been exemplary. You're absolutely right to pick out the win at Catalan in week 1. I still think week 1 is the week you can't draw too much of a form line on. But that was a really, really impressive performance. They've done everything that's asked of them in the weeks after it. But they will come up against a team that is incredibly well drilled. Might not be the most entertaining team in the league, but everybody knows their job. There's a little bit of competition for places, and from what I've seen, which hasn't been live, it's either been on the telly or in the highlights, Jackson Hastings is starting to fire. He's starting to take Wigan around the park.
Yeah.
And every week he's going to get a little bit better, and those combinations with Farrell and
You know
with
the
Bevan
phrase I
French are going to
use?
get better.
He's quietly going about his
Yeah,
business.
because he
Like you said,
doesn't-
He's
he
getting a
doesn't-
little bit better every
He doesn't
week
need
without
to be the king
Yeah.
every week because
Yeah.
he's got
having Powell back helped them this week massively.
So this will be a real test for where Huddersfield are, because we know what we're going to be like. They're going to be solid. They've conceded 2 tries every game they've played, so they're not going to offer a lot of chances. I think Wigan will win by 2, but we will see enough of Huddersfield to say they're going to be nearer the top 5 this season than the bottom 4.
Yeah.
So like I say, it's the game of the round, this one, isn't it? And so much so that with everything Phil said, I'm going slightly the way because it's going to be that tight. I'm going to go for Huddersfield by 2, but this could be a draw. Could be goal, could be anything.
Yeah, I think this could be something like 14-10, something like that.
It's going to be close and intense.
I've not seen enough of Huddersfield. I've seen a bit of Wigan in the last couple of weeks, and they were good yesterday without being anywhere near as good as they can be.
But in week 4, you don't need to be as good as you
No,
you
no,
wouldn't
exactly.
expect to be as good as you can.
Their defence was very good. It's going to be interesting. Lulai picked up a bit of a knot. I'll be worried if he's playing, but Smith, the young kid, played. He looks a player.
He's great.
And they've got the likes of Flower. There might be a couple back this week. I just think they might have a little bit too much. I'll go Wigan by 4. Tight though. Could go. These are games we don't know who's going to win.
Exactly.
This is what we want.
Exactly.
Hull Catalans.
Here's another one. I don't know. I genuinely don't know who goes into this game as favourites. Is it going to be Hull have got a point to prove, they need to hit back after 2 really disappointing defeats? Is it going to be Catalan, who've been afforded the luxury of a week off, who can come over here and give it everything? Challenge Cup last year, Catalan were awful. Worst display of the season.
Yeah. This is their first away game, isn't it?
Tompkins in fine form the last time they played. That's Sam, not Joel. I'd like to think that Hull at home are going to be extremely difficult to beat all season, irrespective of who they're playing. But I think there's some weaknesses there.
Is Kelly going to play? Will it be Connor?
But that immediately puts pressure on Kelly. Like, you've got to be our saviour.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm struggling on this one. I'll be honest with Phil. I genuinely don't know which way to go.
I don't think there's a form line on this because Catalan have only played 2 games.
You know, first away game, sticky one, isn't it?
But I'll stick my neck out and go Catalan by 4.
Same number the other way. They are gloriously, consistently inconsistent. I don't know what's going to happen with the Catalans in this one. That week off is key. But I'm going to go for Hull by 4.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a chance, Hull. Against my better judgment, I feel, but I'm going to give them another go. They'll have Sarte back. We'll add a bit of physical prowess to their team. Connor can't be as bad as he's been the last 2 weeks, can he?
I just think
Griffin was
James
brilliant.
Maloney will show them what they're missing.
Yeah, maybe he will. But I'll go Hull, and I'll go Hull by 1.
Sneak off goal.
Salford against Wakefield.
The game of the week.
This is
On the basis of the fact that nothing is decided this early in the season, what it does is it sets you up for your next 4 or 5 games. The loser of this is under pressure.
Losers could be bottom of the table.
The winners will say, we've had an inconsistent start to the season, but we're building now. The losers are going, every week now we're looking over our shoulder because it ratchets up a little bit. My real concern for Wakefield is losing another 2 players. So whereas we've talked about there are some teams that don't get injuries, there are other teams that can't stop getting injuries. Hull and Wakefield this year are partly where they are in the table because of the number of players they haven't got available to them. And you know, I'm still not sure where Ryan Hampshire's best position is, but I know that when Danny Bruff's out, you can't really afford not to have Ryan Hampshire.
Yeah, no, I think he's improved, I have to say that.
And I have to say that I probably saw enough in Salford's play through the likes of Dudson, Paulie to say that they'll probably just have a bit too much power for Wakefield this week.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Salford by 6.
Rich?
Sorry, Rich.
We'll fight back. We're going to win by 8.
Okay. Well, I As I know to my cost, Wakefield don't have a good record at Salford in recent times. I think this is must win for Salford, although I notice they've only scored 50 points in 4 games. That needs to improve. I'm going Salford by 6.